Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm proud to be at Aquashella. We're going to present a presentation that we added a little bit more freshwater to, given the environment. But we're really going to give you a background of Polo Reef, what it stands for, and all the projects about to happen. So let's start, okay? So I get this question a lot. What is Polo Reef? And frankly, it started out as a corporation just to separate the fish tank activities. And people think it means like some kind of crazy thing, but the truth of the matter is I live on Polo Drive and I live across the street from the polo field. So this was not a very difficult name to come up with. But this is my way now of paying the hobby back, both in education, philanthropy, and giving to schools, etc., to grow the hobby. So that's sort of the number one goal. This is a slide that I did a while ago. If you know the movie 2000 and 2010 Space Odyssey, you will understand this video. If you don't, if you didn't see it, don't worry about it. This is... That was day one. The tank first got here. And this is us doing construction for the parts of the house. This is Joe Ayulo lifting some rocks with some cranes, filling the tank with RO. Day one. I actually had a high school reunion, so the party planners said the party must go on. A few years later, this is what the tank looked like. We had no coral. And something wonderful happened. So I want to take you through the build quickly. Just the home was purchased in 2013. Plans for this tank and the construction of the house started the year before, 2012. And so from 2012 to the first fish in November 19, it was a 6-year project. 7-year project, really. Construction, basically, the three sides are 4-inch acrylic Reynolds, 4-inch, yeah. And the bottom and the back of the tank are honeycomb fiberglass. And the slab there, what you see, was a 4-inch slab of concrete rebar. We had to have all sorts of sand tests, soil sample tests, to see if it was going to sink or how far out you had to extend the slab past the dimensions of the tank. And I believe it's 8 feet past the dimensions to spread the weight. Now, this is a picture on the left-hand side of my Apex. It's basically a PLC. But what I wanted to talk about is how many amps I need to run this house. The average house, I don't know, how many amps do you guys have? 300 amps, 200 amp service? So this house came with 800, and we had to add another 800. So it's 1,600 amp service, and we have 2 monster Kohler generators, totaling 250 kW to do all the tanks in the house. That computer I showed you basically allows us to have access. This is all custom code. We hired an industrial automation expert. he assures me that there's more lines of code in this program than many of the water plants that he has built. But we can get to every part of the tank on the PLC, control on it, and we have a lot of backup control off the computer just in case Skynet decides not to cooperate. Case in point would be the UV. We measure the UV ballast and temperature internally with the computer, but we also have shut-off switches manually that shuts the UV down if the temperature gets too hot. This is a look at the lighting, and it's really evolved over the last year or so. There are 13 LED fixtures. You can see them up there. 2 are 1,000, 11 are 500. They're max specs. I run the tank between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The whites start going on at 10. The metal halides start going on around 11. And I would say overall the par in the tank is about 300 to 400, of which 200 is blue. And we run the whites anywhere between 10 and 30%, and the halides we run from 11 to 315. And at 315, Polo goes blue again. They're violet lights from Orphic, and they've really added quite a tremendous pop to the tank. So we have a scattering of lights and technologies, metal halides from 10K to 14K, and basically 1,000 and 500 watt LEDs. And by the way, measuring that with a par meter, you need a very long cord. So we have a 90-foot cord where we take the meter down to in the tank. Flow is one of those things that we continue to work on and continue to evolve. The corals get bigger. You need to increase your flow. The 3 internally generated things we were looking at was basically Pantaray on the bottom, and the 2 top ones are Biz. Play the video. I want to show you. We tried the top of Biz. It looked like a jet engine plane crashed in my tank. There it is. We had to hold it down with one of those straps. And we did some bank shots, and we banked the flow off the wall there, and we had it in a cocoon fashion around the reef. And in the meantime, we are waiting on the middle ones, which are the Biz 400s. And while we're waiting, there should be any day actually, we had to jerry rig a lot of pumps up for extra flow. There's one down here. If you can see, there are a couple in the tunnels. So we did some doctoring, and we're awaiting the final solution. So people always ask me, how do you make your salt? You must have some kind of crazy automation. I don't. I have a guy named Yeltsin that's worked for me since 2000. In 2000, he was my driver. In any event, this is the way we make our salt. We actually mix sodium chloride bags
1 magnesium and 3 liquids
in with magnesium sulfate bag.
A lot easier than
And the formula
shoveling
is
a satchel around.
4 sodiums. That's the ones he has here. This is food grade sodium chloride. 4 sodiums, 1 magnesium, and 3 buckets of Bob's Beautiful ESV liquid salinity stuff makes 1,000 gallons. So we just do that 5 times to fill up that vat, 5,000 gallon water vat. and then water is distributed from there. Next one. This is my UV sterilizer. I think of it as it's the workhorse. It's 4,000 watts, 10 bulbs. It actually kills free swimming ick and velvet because it has so many microjoules in it. And so I'm a big believer in quarantining and medicating and doing all that, but just in case something gets through, it's nice to have this guy. Yeah, play the video. You can see how long and delicate the sleeves are. Bulbs now, I'd say every 8 months, and the sleeves once a year. Okay, next. These are some of the fish that have been through the system, currently living in the tank. Actually, I see one that passed. Next slide. This is a video we just did, a fun little YouTube video, so you know how rare some of these fish are that are going through. You have volume on this?
Polo Reef is owned. Stick around until the end for 2 extremely rare bonus fish that you have never seen. Hit that subscribe button before we get started. Kicking off our list at number 5 is the aberrant Desjardins sailfin tang, otherwise known as the Picasso tang. The color variants and pattern mutations make this fish truly one of a kind. Typically priced based on its patterns,
the divers
generally sells for $25,000 to $30,000.
They know who to find in this country, in the United
Mr.
States.
Picasso Tang is going to be released.
So people ask me how I find these
welcome
fish,
to Disney World.
and the answer is they find me.
This fish truly shocked the Polo Reef family. After just a few years, his colors reverted back to the more species-specific pattern, lowering the retail price. Coming in at number 4 is the rare and stunning Personatus angelfish.
So there's 4 of these Personatus angelfish in my back here room waiting for the 2,500 gallon tank to be ready.
Endemic and only found in
And
Hawaii,
there are
these fish are
5 in
extremely
the main
rare.
display
Only
already
one fish
now.
breeder has successfully bred them in the aquarium trade. These rare fish are born all female, and once they reach maturity, some become male. They are a true testament to the beauty of tropical marine life. Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the Narcosis angelfish. The Narcosis angelfish comes in at a price tag of $15,000 to $20,000.
These might be my
It gets its
oldest
name from
fish
the
now.
depths divers need to go to
They're
collect
at
them.
least
Specialized
11
divers
years
have been
old.
known to get narcosis
This
when
pair,
retrieving these elusive
Narcosis.
fish. Some divers have even died
And
trying
I
to
believe
collect them.
the only pair
Polo
in
Reef
captivity
currently
today.
houses 2 of these majestic fish.
They come from 400 or 500
Standing
feet
at
down.
the podium in second place is the Abai angelfish, coming in at a whopping $20,000 to $25,000.
These are
This
Abai
second-place
angels,
fish is extremely
and
rare.
apparently
Polo
I have
Reef currently
3 of the
houses
6
3
ever
of the
collected.
6 ever
Although we
collected
did
for the
see
aquarium
one
trade.
come recently through, right? So maybe I'm 3 of 7 now.
Known for the bicolors, this fish
one
is
of the other
respected in
3
the
that
hobby
got
and a great
recirculated.
addition to the Polo Reef family. And taking the number 1 spot for the most expensive fish that Polo Reef has owned is none other than the peppermint angelfish. With a
And
price
this
tag
is,
of over $20,000 to $30,000,
I have
this
3
fish
of
is
these in my
definitely a
freezer.
collector's dream.
I'm gonna make them into
This
earrings for
special
my
fish
wife
is
one
considered
day.
by most as the
I'm
holy
only
grail
kidding.
in the aquarium hobby. The last one purchased at Polo Reef was in
Um,
2018 from Divers Den.
Yeah, they don't come around very much,
Peppermint
and it's not a
angelfish
great
is extremely
investment,
hard
but
to
they
keep.
are very,
With issues ranging from internal parasites,
not very easy.
sensitivity to synthetic salt, and being picky eaters, this fish is
Put a
not.
little ruby in the eyes, right?
Thanks for sticking
Make
around
it
to the
necklace,
end.
black
And now
dye.
for our first bonus fish of the day, the mutated koi tangs from the Indo-Pacific. Their aberrant colors and patterns make them truly rare. Similar to the aberrant Desjardins tang, the value of this fish can change after purchasing. The more interesting the color and patterns, the more they are worth. Ranging from $10,000 to $20,000, it's no wonder reefers take a gamble at purchasing this beautiful fish. Our second bonus fish is considered the most rare. Introducing the Conspic Blue Line Angel Hybrid from Pima
This
Labs.
is my
This fish was
one
a
that just
complete breeding
passed.
accident between a blue line and conspiculatus
It was
angelfish.
it was the only
With
one of
truly
its
stunning
kind. It
patterns,
was
Polo
an
Reef is the
accident
perfect
from
home for this
Polo
priceless
Labs.
fish.
A
There you have it, folks, the
conspic
top 5
bred
most
with a blue
expensive
line
fish that Polo Reef has owned.
in a
Which one of
vat,
these fish would you
and
like
that's
to have
what
in
came
your
out,
aquarium?
and they
Let
can't
us know in the
get it
comments
to
below.
be.
Don't forget
They
to
can't
like, share, and
duplicate it.
subscribe for more incredible aquatic
Turns out the
adventures
fish
here at
got
Polo Reef.
eye bubble
Stay tuned
disease,
for the top 5 Polo Reef
went
fails,
blind, and
Fish
stopped
Edition.
eating, and we lost them. And of course, it always happens to the rarest and the most expensive. That's the way this hobby works. Okay, next slide. Feeding. We feed a variety of frozen food. I have a chef that also makes a seafood combo. I have a chef, a regular chef. Eggs and shrimp and we make we make about 5 pounds of food a day. Play the video. As well as other commonly known fish foods. What does that weight say there? 3.8. 4 pounds there. And the other big food we feed, JC, play this one. We have on a rope, a PVC pipe with about 6 clips. And each clip will hold 3, 4, 5 pieces of nori. And so that's the way we feed our fish their veggies. Okay. This is a nice little slide because one of the things we've been up to over the last few years has been adding tanks and adding different biotopes. Here's just some additional tanks that we have around the house. LPS tank right here. This is connected to the 17,000, but we use different lighting, etc., etc. Now, if I put these corals in the big tank, the fish would devour them. It'd be mealtime. A lot of those fish are not reef safe. So I have to keep other tanks in the house to keep beautiful coral. All right, JC, how about this one? That's just a picture of the big tank, right? Yeah, let's keep moving. This is something I'm very proud of. This was the before. And originally, before was supposed to be a theater room. I realized I needed a lab. The lab had a lot of 2x4s and a lot of things hanging down. We were making sumps and tubs, and this is now what it looks like after renovation. Play the video. By the way, all 2x4s are now gone. All new quarantine tanks. Yeah, you'll actually see them up running in a few seconds. And in the center there, you'll see some cubes. And those cubes will be done shortly and will be done for scientific experiments for the hobby. There they are. That's the new quarantine wall. And oh yeah, you still see some 2x4s there. They're gone. They're gone. And we're awaiting the cubes to be set up along with this 200-gallon deep water display, which we're going to do in the lab. Okay, so what's new? What are some problems you're having? People always ask me, what would you do different? And this is one of them. Apparently, commercial aquariums, the ones that have huge tanks and huge pumps, degas their water before it gets to the fish. In other words, the amount of oxygen and nitrogen that can be saturated in the water from the pumps churning and the drops of 50-foot drops and etc. actually can cause the fish's eyes to pop out or actually have worse and have an embolism. And we've had some losses because of it. Let's play this video. I'm looking at the monitor there. And that's Raj from MRC or Reef Builders, whoever you want to call them today. Along with some folks from Monterey Bay Aquarium, and we're going through the tank and how to degas this thing. That water you see flowing right there in that box, that's 1,200 gallons per minute of water flowing through the system. And that's part of the problem. This is a vet that came to see us with some of the fish that had that Popeye. We needed to be sure that it wasn't bacterial or a fluke. We wanted to make sure it was gaseous. And it was. We need to know whether it's gaseous. You could skip this part. He actually operated on the fish. He took a fish eye out, and the fish is fine, but we still need to drop the pressure in the tank, and we're working on it right now. Another project that just got done after 45 years of magnets and scraping algae and things falling on the tank, your acrylic scratches. How many of you have acrylic? It scratches, right? A lot, right? Well, you should hire these guys. Yeah, play the video. The video says it all. It took them a week. 3 guys, a full week. And they'll use different sandpaper in there from 200 to 300 up to 5, 6, 7, 10,000. They're moving the coral for them so they can get to the glass. And every night after they were done, we would blow the coral off, just in case there were acrylic particles there. That's how they make grids like this. So, and they shine very bright lights for the diver. I must tell you, no reaction. I mean, the fish, maybe they didn't like all those micro bubbles, and but more or less, we had no adverse effect at all from this process, and the tank looks spectacular, brand new. All right, JC, what do we got next? Okay, this is a slide I just made up. I wanted to give you some idea of what the filtration systems look like. You've seen some. Now I'm going to do a walkthrough and show you the rest in the sub-basement. So you're done here is building a beautiful structure for our LPS tank. This is basically our nutrient removal room. I call it skimmer and reactors. Two 10-foot MRC skimmers running at about 120 gallons per minute through them. Sulfur reactor to reduce nitrates, running about 2.5 gallons per minute up through this sulfur into an aragonite chamber to rebuff the pH up. Our ozone system, which runs a few grams of ozone into one of the skimmers, and two very large reactors of GFO and activated carbon. Over here, we have the large mechanical filtration. You see the sand filter over there? That holds beads of glass media instead of sand. These are our quarantine tanks. You can see currently this one is being broken down. The fish just got quarantined. We'll sterilize it for the next batch. This is our RO machine where we make RODI water. Most of you know what RODI pressure looks like. Our machine is pretty quick. Makes about 10,000 gallons a day. Let's go into the sub-basement now, where all the engines are. I'm gonna walk you around this way. We have the main computer that's here, the computer control. This sump right here hooks to my office tank, the 2,500 gallons tank, which is not up and running yet. So right now we use it for water storage. This is the big boy. This sump is connected to the 17,000 gallon system. It holds about 2,500 gallons of water. The water enters up here in this box at about 1,300 gallons per minute, flows down and into this large basin. It goes down about 10 feet. 3 return pumps up top here. These 3 return pumps, 2 are always on, 1 acts as a spare. Pool filter pump for extra mechanical. This is another system down here, which will be connected to the drop down and the cube in my office. It's a separate system. It holds about 250 gallons of water. Bubble King skimmer, separate UV, etc. And this is the water distribution, where I have 1 vat of about 5,000 gallons of water and 2 2,500s. This is usually salt water. These are usually RO water. We access them from upstairs. Okay. Next slide. Because this is a freshwater crowd too, I wanted to spend some time on our other new fetish, koi. And Polo Pond was built, and then we rebuilt it the second year. We actually rebuilt it the way it should be built for expensive koi. Bottom drains, no gravel, big RDF, rotary drum filters, Baki showers. Play the video. This is being redone, right? Those are all the waterfalls. Now, what do you do with expensive koi in a New York winter? You're gonna see what we did. There's the Baki shower. Hey guys, we're here at Polo Pond after a several-month construction project to upgrade it. We are now ready for additional koi. We got 9 koi from Bristol Farms Bristol Koi Farms in Florida. But these are Japanese koi, and we're really excited about this.
This is a Kage Shiro. This is a Showa. This is a Ginrin Showa. This is a Deutsch Showa.
These names are harder than the freaking corals now.
On the bottom of the tail, it's 26.
Wow.
That's my real baby. Fast forward this, JC, to the winter part now. And here you go. They're starting to tent it now. Right around now, we're mid-60s when we started doing this project. Thank God, we got it done just in time. And that's what we have now. And they're nice and comfy, toasty at about 65 degrees. Some of the certificates, like we're gonna try the House of Champions. So, other capital projects in the works. We have a 900-gallon drop-down tank, which is, you'll find out more about it. It started to come, but it decided not to come. I guess it's at the end of this one, right? It's at the end of this video. This was the 200-gallon cube, and that's the 200-gallon cube empty. As we're tearing it down, that's where it is now in the office, in the lab. And yeah, you're gonna see that big 900-gallon drop down instead. And then move to my office tank. The office tank is 2,500 gallons. We had Top Shelf, who I think are some of the greatest aquascapers out there. We had Kevin and his team fly out for a week using accelerator, glue, more accelerator, Marco cement. There's Yeltsin. They put together these structures and they match them to a model, and look how beautiful the structure of this thing came out. That will be the next coral fill. Okay. You know this guy? A lot of freshwater people know this guy. He's the guy from Predatory Fins. They like big sharks and predatory fish. We had him over the house trying to convince me to do a freshwater system. Is this a video? So, play the video. You see this spot right here? This corner? We were thinking about doing one of those like half planted up top, half Amazon below.
Like discus, like colorful fish.
Yeah, maybe some neon tetras and what. Anyway, they wanted me to get sharks. Always sharks and stingrays. Next. Okay, this is where what it's all about for me, right here. This last page. How do I help this hobby? How do I grow this hobby? I can educate people through videos, and I can inspire people through the videos, or I can have young people come through the house on school and class trips, which we do. We do several a month. We are developing new approaches to quarantining fish. We're conducting, I told you, scientific studies. We are donating funds to coral restoration as well as directly to schools and curriculum. And we're even helping companies improve their products. I had it, Bob from ESV up his trace elements in his salt, and he did it for everybody, not just me. So the whole hobby benefits. Marine Institute. They're also one of the people that are Noah's Arking the corals from Florida. And also replanting them back. I think mostly in the West Palm Beach area. Here I was just announcing funding of a school program. And we bought a whole bunch of Jake's corals, as Jake will live on in our home and help the Adams family out. Mother and baby. And here's us going through a high school, having that high school over, having visitors of contests come over. We have a lot of visitors.
My name is Ayla Cho. I was blown away by the sheer scope of all of this, and I'm still trying to process everything that I saw, everything that I learned, and this is just an incredible experience, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to come here.
Hi, my name is Madeline Crosby, and I thought this was an amazing opportunity for students to be able to see what you can really make as a hobby and all the different things that you can do. Like, there's so many different opportunities with this type of career, or if you.
And this is a school
Ryan Chaya, I teach marine science, so marine biology, zoology, aquarium science 1 and 2 at North
so
Academy.
I support this guy who I know is a great
such
teacher, and he's running a
and all the
marine
great
bio
work here. This is
program
everything they learn
up
about,
in
and many of them hope to aspire to whether it be a hobbyist or the professional level. And I think it's just really important that they see this at a level that's not very common outside of the hobby. So.
And that is the end of the presentation. And by the way, all of our merchandise, shirts, water bottles, knapsacks, anything you get on our website goes directly to saving the reefs or educating the kids directly. Thank you very much. Any particular questions out there?
Testing. Okay. Hi, Andrew. You last year you reached out to my alma mater in New York, Walt Whitman High School, because they had a program that really needed and earned what you provide to these students in these schools. I know that, forget about the money for a moment, which is not easy to do, but let's forget about the money for a moment. What does it do to you? How does it make you feel when you see these kids come to your house and look at this and then go back to school and continue to learn and get excited about this hobby? I want to know about the emotional part that you get when you interact with these school kids. That's something you can't find every day, and it's really unique about Polo Reef, and I would really love to hear a little bit more about it.
Look, first of all, it depends on the stock market that day. But besides that, some of these kids come in very advanced, and they're already marine biologists, essentially. And you're talking advanced stuff, and some of them have a little sugar ADD, and they're putting handprints all over the place and on the tanks, and like you want them out of your house. So Hal, the answer is this is why I ask before we give money and support about having the correct curriculum and having the right age kids, et cetera, et cetera. I can't bring youngsters down into the sub-basement. I didn't even want to go. Yeah, it's scary down there, right? But no, how else are you going to inspire these kids? To me, it's like very easily done, and I love giving them my time. So, they all spawn. They spawn, but by the time you can't get in there and scoop them out of there, the eggs, before they either go down the overflow drains into the UVs or the skimmers. With that being said, we are about to start an egg collecting project. Can I mention with who or no? Not yet, right? Where we try to collect eggs in the overflows or nets at night and give back to the hobby that way also.
So what is your favorite piece of coral that you have? Or fish, or both? I mean, it can even be just one.
You can't take favorites in this world anymore.
You really can't.
There's no favoritism.
What's the last one that you got that you really liked? Have you been out here? What's your favorite one here?
I haven't looked at the fish.
You haven't looked at them yet?
Believe it or not, I'm sort of attracted to the aquascaping of the freshwater plant thing.
Right over, yeah, those are
having
cool.
nothing to do with, like, I'm just attracted to it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're actually considering doing that.
I think your videos are awesome. The YouTube stuff, I've watched probably all of them a bunch. I just think what you do is just awesomely incredible.
Thank you.
So thanks for what you do.
There have been times where I go to shows and I buy so much coral that we have to reroute the plane because it's a lot more weight.
Yeah.
This is probably not that kind of show, but
the stuff you have in your back room is just crazy. I don't think we have half of that stuff on our displays, but yeah, it's just awesome.
Thank you.
What do you do to control your pH in your system?
So the pH is, it runs, if I did nothing, I don't really see under 8.0 if I did nothing, okay? But we drip I evaporate 45 gallons a day is the evaporation from the tank, and a cup and a half of caulk in 45 gallons. And we use an industrial Stenner pump, and it literally drips in 24 hours a day and keeps pH very stable.
Amounts going at nighttime or just consistent all throughout the day?
I would run more at night if I saw it lower, but it's not. So it's on a straight line 24-hour day shot.
What's your least favorite fish and why?
The least favorite?
The bully.
You know, here's an interesting point. I'm a pet peeve. This display is Indo-Pacific. All right, every fish in there comes from the Indo-Pacific. There's not one Atlantic Ocean fish in there. There might be some gorgonians from the Caribbean, but other than that, so that's just my thing. People say, why don't you get a queen angel, or why don't you get French angel? No, because that's a different ocean.
As a creator on YouTube.
Folks, coming up at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. is our last speaker of the day, Mr. Julian Sprung from Two Little Fishes, talking about My Saltwater Pond, inspiration, design, features, and lessons learned. He will be over at the Flugal main stage, Mr. Julian Sprung from Two Little Fishes. And then over at the contest stage, the Aquarium contest stage, is TMK Aquarium's live scaping demo. Be sure to get over there and check out another perspective on how to. All at 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, the raffle. If you haven't gotten your raffle tickets yet, be sure to get a raffle ticket and get over there and get it in. We'll promptly be calling that at 5 o'clock. And then if you are a saltwater person that has had any history with Aquashella, you know who Jake Adams is. He was a big part of this show and a huge part of the industry. Unfortunately, we lost him way too early, but his corals, his personal corals that his farm area, are over at the Reef Builders booth. If you want a Jake Adams coral to commemorate him, come over to the Reef Builders booth and get some of the coral that he helped propagate and grow.
Okay.
As a educational YouTube creator, what are some features or things you would like to see happen on YouTube as a platform to help out?
What would I like to see happen when?
What are some features that you would like to see YouTube as a platform have to help out?
What was the question?
What are... Oh, sorry.
On YouTube. We're going to be doing interviews and podcasts now with professionals, particularly people that run commercial aquaria type. We're going to be doing quarantine type videos. We're going to be doing obviously capital build videos. There's 3 projects that are going to be up and going, and you'll see the adventures of it as it, real time. I think I want to do educational stuff that not only educates but also keeps people interested. It's got to be a little funny. It's got to be a little bit of some humor. I'd even like to see. We have a team of 12, I think. Some of the personalities are pretty good. Yelson's a pretty funny guy when you get him the right moment. So I'd like to exploit their personalities. Who knows? Maybe Netflix will pick up the show.
How many gallons is the koi pond, and do you have problems with predators?
The pond is actually the pot that you saw with the fish in there right there is about 15,000 gallons. And the upper one is about 7. And as of yet, no problems. However, there are known to be these birds. What are they called? Which ones? The dead ones. No, but we're looking at a koi control system, believe it or not, that measures turbidity, salinity, KH. Let's see what else it monitors. It monitors nitrite, ammonia, dissolved oxygen, like a just-in-case thing. And apparently he's got a module with a laser to scare off birds. So I'm interested. All right, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.